Hi, welcome to the live stream. I'm going to be channeling Archangel Raphael, and Raphael will be giving messages based on who's listening and for the week ahead as well. And just before we start, I just want to remind people, anyone who wishes to be on the New Year's Eve group, which will be New Year's Eve, 1 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. And so if you haven't already signed up for that, and if you want to be on it, just go to the gen.net website. And the group's completely free. Optional donation if you want to give one, but it's free. There's no charge for it. And I also wanted to mention something else, which is a really exciting project by my good friend Lasar. It's bespoke healing retreat. So it's tailor-made retreats for people, for individuals, but it'll also be small groups as well over time. And they're going to be based in Glastonbury in Somerset. And there's a lot of sacred sites here. They're going to be absolutely to tailor made for the people attending. And there's a link on the description, so you can click on that and get more information. But it's a project that's been a long time in the making, and Lasar's got a lot of experience when it comes to retreats, and tailor-made ones. And finally, I just wanted to also thank everyone as well, for all your support, all your donations, all your generosity, for the channel, and for the work. Really appreciate that, and just much gratitude to all of you. I'm just going to let Archangel Raphael come in and speak through me. I would like you to know that what I am actually seeing is that there is a lot going on many different levels at the moment. A lot that is clearing, a lot that is actually trying to fully resolve itself on the earth plane. And what I am actually seeing is that there is a lot that will actually come to pass when it comes to things actually coming full circle, that it is a time for resolution on the earth plane. So, those of you who are concerned about global events, things which are going on generally around you in the world, there will be resolution. And this resolution will not necessarily come easily. There will be a lot of chaos, a lot of fighting, a lot that will come up to the surface in order to be seen first before resolution comes. But I will say that there will be resolution to such an extent that actually whatever has been in one way or another taken will be in one way or another given back. It will happen. And those of you who are concerned about this generally, you will notice that as days and weeks go by, people will start to see more and more about what has been going on in the world generally, in many places, and what has been taken away from people will be given back. What I will also say is because of this, there will be a lot of conflict, there will be a lot of dissatisfaction amongst those who have taken from others, who wish to keep going the way that they have been. Those who have been creating chaos, hardship for others will feel hard done by. However, it is going to be absolutely the case that there will be harmony in the world ultimately as a result of the way that things are meant to be happening automatically, because the light is going in that direction. And those who feel hard done by will eventually come to realize what has actually been going on. Perhaps they have not been able to see what they have been doing, but they will start to realize. So, what I'm really trying to say is that this is a time for truth and justice and fairness, that whatever is happening in the world, all around the world, it is going to be resolved, but there will be chaos in the meantime. It will take time, it won't be overnight. But for those of you who are concerned, I would like you to know this. And it is important as well to play your part in this, that if you feel you have something to say, then say it. If you feel you have a part to play in the restoration of peace and justice in the world, then play your part. Because it is through all the people who are here, who are meant to play a part in this, that it will happen. I will also say that when you are feeling a lot of chaos inside, it can often be because of what is going on the outside. Not everything you feel is your own. And at the moment, there is so much in the world that is going on that it is inevitable that you will have states where you feel unwell inside, where you feel ill at ease, where you may feel that life is not worth living. And I will say, you will absolutely be picking up on other people's emotions, thoughts. And I would also like to share one more thing, and that is when you are incarnate in physical form, it is always going to feel like you are quite separate to others in some ways, that you are not always involved in other people's lives, especially those who live far away. But as you go into your multidimensional self, you start to actually notice how much affinity you may be feeling to others who live far away from you, groups of people, people who you have never even met. And that is because your spirit is identifying with them, because you yourself may have incarnated there many times where the people are living who you are tuning to. So, what I will say to those of you who are particularly concerned about what has been going on in the world is that you are actually recognizing something on a deeper level as well. You are recognizing that you yourselves have actually been to these places, been part of these cultures, these civilizations. And I would like you to know that those of you who have lived in certain communities, there will be contracts there, there will be alliances you have made, there will be people you will be attuning to, remembering on a soul level, feeling concerned about. So I would like to share this, that those of you who have been particularly concerned, there is going to be something else going on as well. There will be people who remember you on a soul level. And I want you to know that if you feel compelled to do something, to take action, to speak out, then do it. It is the right time at the moment. I have one more thing to say about this, and that is there is no such thing as having harmony where there is injustice. Where there is injustice, this first must be corrected. And I would like all of you to know this, that injustice creates a lot of hate, a lot of resentment, a lot of negative emotion. And it is important to correct injustice for there to be harmony between people. I would like to speak about more things now. I would like to speak about how much you have all been doing generally. And what I am actually seeing is that there will always be a lot going on in your lives because it is the way of things that at the moment it is a time of movement, of change, of activity in everyone. And that is because energies are moving, things are trying to rearrange on the earth plane. So if you are feeling a bit overwhelmed, Know that it is part of the energy at the moment, that life is really trying to rearrange itself into a new type of energy matrix, one that is aligning to the light of oneness. And because of this, you may feel the need for lots of rest as well, taking time out, time to simply be with yourself. So if you feel this, then give yourself this time. Don't do too much, because when you do more than you can manage, you start to actually feel not only exhausted and lose energy, but you can also draw in negative external energies, because there are a lot of opportunistic energies that would like to come in order to stop the flow of light. And when you are feeling exhausted, these energies can come in and create chaos. So keep yourselves well rested, keep your energy high by giving yourselves the time you need to assimilate what is going on around you. And through this, you are able to keep in alignment with the light within and not be taken off track by external energies. I also would like to share with all of you that wherever there is light, there will always be some degree of darkness, something that will be trying to stop the flow of light. It can come in the form of a person, it can come in the form of energies which you are receiving from elsewhere. It can come in many forms. But what I will say about this is that it is the way of life. And what is important to do is always keep yourselves in a good state, to do what you can to raise your energy, to learn tools, techniques that help you to keep your energy in a good place. Whether these tools are very simple things, such as some movement, exercise, or whether they are more complex and much more about really mastering the subtle energies in the body in a way that is very intricate, in depth. Perhaps meditations that you have learnt in specialist places. But what I will say is that it is important to have at least some tools to keep your energy in a good place. And it is not necessary to even have many of these tools, but just some that work for you. Whether it is a bit of exercise, along with some special guided meditations you do. It can be really simple, but if you have these practices, they will help you to keep your energy in a good place. I have a few more things to say. I want all of you to know that there is no such thing as needing to actually ask people for what you need, unless there are places in you where you are not in any way able to be in the light. So, what I'm really trying to say is where you have already incorporated light in your body and in your energy matrix, your needs will be automatically met. So it will be that there will be certain things in your life you never have to ask for because they are already there for you. But generally, where you have to ask for needs to be met, it is because there is not enough light there, that there is a problem, a disturbance, perhaps trauma, soul loss there. And then when you ask for what you need, you can often feel a bit nervous or have a sense that perhaps there is no one to ask who can fulfill your need. What I want you to know is that when you are in this place, the best thing you can do is ask us for help, to ask us to intervene, to come in and provide for you whilst you are being restored in that place. So I want to remind you about this, that one of the biggest, highest functions of the angelic realm is actually to provide for you when you cannot do it yourself energetically, because there is a part of you missing, traumatized, suffering. It is really okay to ask. And when you ask, we will do everything we can to make sure your needs are met. And when you are then feeling your needs being met, it also helps to restore the light in that place within you. So it will help the process of restoring you as well. I am reminding you of this because some of you are often suffering needlessly, and as soon as you ask, we can come in and intervene. I have one more thing to say about suffering. That suffering is something that everybody experiences in some shape or form. But there is some suffering that is unnecessary, that you can avoid. Some suffering you cannot avoid because there is something karmic there, something that is being worked through, something that you need to understand first, something that is going on a deeper level. But there is such a thing as suffering that is needless, that is almost self generated, where you have an experience, but it just keeps going longer than is necessary because you get stuck in that cycle, because you are not asking for help, because you believe that is all life is, perhaps. And what I will say about this sort of suffering is that it is really good to know that it is not necessary, that it can be avoided. And it is important to keep going within and asking your guides, your angels, asking us for help. I have one more thing to say about this, and that is every single person who is currently incarnate will find that as they go deeper inside, they will access more and more suffering, because it is a time where you are restoring yourselves fully and completely. So it is going to be like this for a while, where people will access very deep layers of suffering and trauma. And this is why I am reminding you to ask for help. That don't get carried away in believing that everything needs to be endured and simply felt and to be with it indefinitely. It is okay to be in your emotions, to feel your suffering, but you don't have to stay there. You can ask for help. You can ask for help, that you are given what you need to be fully free of it, that you are given what you need to feel well. I have one more thing to say about this, and that is in this new age, there is going to come a time where people who are suffering will be seen as the people who are the ones who are able to do the most for others. There will come a time where those who suffer will actually be able to actually see more clearly the part they have to play in life. What I'm really trying to say is that ultimately, through suffering, it is possible to be the sort of person who is able to provide a lot for others through understanding the very nature of suffering, what causes it, how it can be overcome. So I would like to remind those of you who are suffering at the moment that you are able to do a lot for others ultimately. And for some people, it is absolutely their decision to suffer some things in order to be of assistance to others. I am not saying that suffering is necessary, but what I am saying is that suffering has been a part of human existence since the beginning of time. And as you go deep inside into your sufferings and find clarity, wellness, healing, You are able to bring this to others. I am trying to help those of you who are feeling that your lives are hard and have been hard for a long time. I would like you to know that there is purpose here. I have one more thing I would like to speak about, and that is there is always going to be some degree of chaos in the world, some degree of suffering, problems, because it is the way of the world. There is always going to be this. But what I will say is that as you go deep inside and you master your own suffering, you are able to be of assistance to others. You are able to help bring an end to suffering for people who want it. You are able to help communities of people restore order and wellness. So, I would like you to know that it is really important to be with yourselves because ultimately this will help the whole of life. I have no more messages. The week ahead will generally be a good one. I see new things coming in for all of you. A time where you are able to actually have a sense that life is changing, that good things are coming in. And I will also say that it is a time where perhaps you can start to look back at the year that has gone and actually celebrate some of the things which have happened. I have no more to say. Hmm. Yeah, so thank you everyone for listening, and wishing you a really happy new year and much love to all of you.